time for Common Man. Common Man, challenge the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh, boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello. Enjoy the season. Okay, calm down.
Welcome back to the spotlight, young man.
Yeah, Rosie.
You calling me a coward? Young man, I've done things that would make the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Yeah, Rosie.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Wolves and Celtics tied in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Wallace, trying to go right on Ricky, can't find room, drops it down to Candy. Candy, the former number 1 pick, going against the guy he was traded for, Mark. Paul Pierce open in the corner. Candy can't find him. He shoots. Blocked by Mark. Here comes Marcus the other way to Justin. Justin quickly to Ricky. Ricky through the lane. By Wally. By Candy for 2 at the buzzer. And it rolls in. And Kevin McHale looks at the Target Center crowd and says, "What do you think of my general managing now?" As the Wolves are NBA champions here in Minneapolis.
I'm always hesitant to believe what I read.
Me too.
You know what I mean? I think that still it comes down to society. Many times people are forced to believe what they read, and many times what you read might or may not be true.
Whatever he just said.
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
Now that's a fact. That's a natural fact is what it is. Now these fine ladies.
Hundreds of deals
Hundreds?
that I've done.
Good, hundreds.
Hundreds.
They had a plan.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the 4th in the North.
No,
this is the common man, Dan Cole.
We were able to correct that falsehood, and we are not 4th in the North. We are number 1. Up 22% in listenership from one month to the next. From 1 month, a year ago. Up from 22% last January. We thank all the people out there. A lot of people said we were done. A lot of people didn't doubted us. A lot of people didn't believe in us.
And we didn't have any Vikings playoff games to
No, we didn't. We had
help
nothing.
us through.
No, we had nothing. Just a lot of negativity. All we did was we just did a mail it in Monday, a tank it Tuesday, what are you waiting for? What do we call Wednesdays?
Was up?
Yeah, but didn't we have another one for like a wasted or a wet blanket? But we had another one for just not doing anything. I don't even remember what it was anymore. And then we had the throw in the towel Thursday, and used to be a FedEx Friday, and then we turned it into a phone it in Friday. Maybe you can help me here, Teneby. So earlier today, I was going through my emails at home on the computer, my handheld. Now I can check emails on my phone, which is again, I want to thank you. You've helped me with a number of things. The biggest one, of course, is how to peel a banana correctly. Without that, I don't know. My life has completely changed because of that. But there are several other things. You advised me that having a calendar on my phone was better than the one that Rosen has. I used to do Rosen as well. You'd carry around this big, bulky notebook. I mean, it's not a notebook. You know what I'm talking about? One of those calendars where you Franklin calendars where you open it up and it's got all the dates there and you'd write in what you're going to do. And now I can do that on my handheld computer, which doubles as a communication device. So there's a lot of different things you've helped me with. And so I was going, but I was going through my emails, and then I get there's two different people. There's a crackpot conservative and a lunatic liberal, and I don't even know who these people are. I think the crackpot conservative might be more Amsterdam guy. He's just using an alias to try to get me going. And I don't know who this lunatic liberal is, but they'll inundate me with emails. And it's not even them with opinions. It's just sending me stories.
Yeah.
Anti-crackpot, anti-lunatic. And I decided I don't want to see them anymore.
Yeah.
Because I don't read any of them. So I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start blocking people on my email. Well, then in my friend, and I was having fun just going click, click, click. And other ones too. There are other people that they mean no harm, but you get these, right? Hey, well, except they're not to, hey, Common Man Dan Cole at KFXN. They're to Tennessee, right? And they go, author Joe Bag of Donuts wants to talk about why people aren't sending Christmas cards quite as often as they used to during the Christmas season. Would you like to book him as a guest? So we get all these guest ideas from all these people that represent people they want because they're trying to sell something, right? And I don't use any. I never read these. And they're clogging up my email.
It's spam.
Yeah, the spam. So I'm frantically clicking them. Well, then I accidentally blocked a sales manager at the radio station. Metzen.
Well, there's that.
So I call him on the phone. He doesn't answer. He calls me back, goes, what's up? I go, well, I think I may have blocked you, and I can't block you because you and I need to communicate about one of our clients. It just happens to be it's all elements, whether it's commercial, residential, your roof's essential. He's the sales guy. And then I go, so, you know, I could you send me a test email to see if I did? And sure enough, it did not come through. And then I went to junk email, and there he was. So he was in the junk. So then here comes my problem, though. So it says I can unjunk him, right?
Yeah.
Unblock him, I do. But now it says he's not junk, he's spam. Well, how do I unspam him? Isn't spam and junk the exact same thing? Isn't junk mail the same as spam mail? Are they two different things? I mean, I know at home I have two different garbage cans. I have one for garbage and I have one for recyclables, which I'm not sure they really even recycle anyways. Do you think they do? Do you remember recycling when they first started doing it when I bought my own home in Woodbury back in 1998? I'm on my second home now. A little more expensive than one, but well worth it. And they used to have you separate by the color of the glass. You had three different ones. It was clear, brown, and green. The only green bottles I know are Heineken. I have no green bottles because I quit drinking. I don't know if I told you that. So I don't. What? Oh, didn't I ever? Oh,
no.
Well, you know, I don't like to talk about myself. You know that. I'm really not. I'm really, you know, I don't like to talk about myself. I don't like to make things about me. I don't like to use myself as an example or an analogy or anything as that. But yeah, I quit drinking back in 1990. I put a cork in my bottle. Well, I woke up this morning with a wine glass in my hand. Whose wine? What wine? Where the hell did I dine? Must have been a dream. I can't believe where I've been. Come on, let's do it again. I used to live by that anthem. That's Peter Frampton. Frampton Comes Alive. And that's Do You Feel Like We Do? And then I decided I don't like feeling like you do anymore. I don't why. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired is what I did. So I put a cork in the bottle. So I don't have it. I don't know. Is there any other product that comes in a green bottle other than Heineken? I don't think there is. If someone can let me know, that would be great. So they used to have do you really think that when they get to the recycling place that they're separating the clear glass from the brown glass and they're just throwing it all together and smash? I don't even know if they actually recycle the glass or the tin cans. If they just throw them, it just sounds better, right? They get, you know, the refuse companies get some type of a tax break by recycling, and they really don't do it, right?
Sounds like a deep conspiracy.
Well, I don't know.
Sounds like you're about to expose some more fraud in their system.
Maybe I am. But anyway, so now I don't know if so closed circuit to Metzen. If he's listening, he's probably not. He's probably listening to a podcast of the morning show. They're so funny and wacky.
Press,
yeah.
Yoga pants.
Yeah. 8th grade, reliving it every morning. Send me another one and see if I can get it, because I don't know how to get him out of spam. It's also complicated. It's an important email. He's important to me. I just want to, you're really important to me. I like everything about you. You're a great leader here at the radio station, and he makes me money. But he's another guy that's making more money off of me than I'm making off of me, and I'm me.
Yeah.
I love when I meet salespeople for the first time and they introduce me. And this is Dan Cole, the commenter from Noon to 3. Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. And the first thing I say is, oh, so you're another one of those people that's going to be making more money off of me than I'm making off me, and I'm me. No wonder I don't get along with some of the salespeople early on. They distance themselves from me. They're like, what is he talking
love that
about?
one.
But anyway, that is neither here nor
I thought
there.
they distanced themselves once they got to know you.
Wait, hold on. Go ahead, give yourself. I say give yourself. I say son. There you go. There you go, son. Yeah, they generally do that. So maybe I'll get this thing figured out one way or the other. But yeah, it's like when you delete something and it's, do you remember, I've talked to you about the show, a cartoon called The Regular Show, right? Regular Show with Mordecai and Rigby. They're a blue jay and a raccoon that work at a park. And their boss is a gumball machine. His name is Benson. There's a great episode. He's got a girlfriend. She's a cardinal. And she actually has pants. It's so funny. You know, a bird that actually, anyway. So he's driving in his car and he's making up a song about her, right? Well, he accidentally dials her phone at the same time he butt dials her, and it goes to her phone, and he's freaking out. It's, oh my God, I can't believe I just sent that. Don't, but it's sent. Now she's going to hear this cheesy song he wrote about it. It's a great episode. You'd love it. But that's how I felt when all of a sudden I hit delete or block, and then I saw it was his name, and I went, oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. And plus there's important copy information on that. So let's do this. Let's take a break. When we come back, it'll be Peek at the Purple. And from what I understand, Tennessee, there's some steam about a certain quarterback in the National Football League coming to the Minnesota Vikings. We'll talk about that and a little this, that, lot right here in the fan.
Two legendary bands, one unforgettable summer night. Santana.
Layla, na 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 na.
And the Doobie Brothers.
In the heart of the night, with the cool falling rain.
Are coming to Mystic Lake Amphitheater on August 27th. Don't miss this bucket list show, Under the Stars. Tickets are on sale now. Get the full details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Okay. I get it. There are other green bottles out there, but they're all beer related. Rolling Rock, O'Doul's, though I guess Mountain Dew also comes, and that's non-alcoholic from what I understand. That comes in a green bottle. And then Original Olive Oil apparently comes in a green bottle. I just don't think the green, I don't think there's a lot of green bottles out there. I really, truly don't. The Peek at the Purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Free evaluation through the rest of this month. Just tell them Comet sent you. Tell them you heard about it on the fan. They'll make sure everything is ship-shape for you. They're easy to contact, affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com. And as always, remember, Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. Yes, sirree. CBSSports.com has a story by Garrett Podell. 2026 NFL QB market. Top free agents, team fits, projected deals for Danny Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Malik Willis. It lists 5 quarterbacks, tend to be Marcus Mariota, Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers, Malik Willis, and Danny Jones. As I'm going through the list, I said, I wonder who they think who's going where. Marcus Mariota, they do a couple of paragraphs on him, and they say best fits, Jets, Steelers, Commanders, and Vikings. Marcus Mariota in purple and gold. Joe Flacco, apparently we have no interest. Best fits would be Dolphins, Jets, Steelers, Bengals, and the Falcons. Malik Willis, best fits would be Dolphins, Jets, Cardinals, and Steelers. I think he'd look okay in purple. And then Danny Jones, of course. Did we ever have Danny Jones? Oh, wait, we did.
Has he ever been in our building?
He's been in our building before. They say the best place for Danny Jones will be where he's at now, the Colts, the Steelers, or the Jets. That brings us to Aaron Rodgers, age 42, season 22, current team Pittsburgh Steelers. Says, if Aaron Rodgers decides to play football in 2026, the NFL's all-time passer rating leader likely will have two options he'll legitimately consider: to return to the Pittsburgh Steelers and reunite with his former Green Bay Packer head coach Mike McCarthy, or serve as a one-year stopgap starter ahead of J.J. McCarthy with the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, my gosh. Above average.
It then lists the miserable numbers of J.J. McCarthy, and it finally goes on to say, who better for McCarthy to learn from in an NFL gap year of sorts and the league's all-time leader in touchdown to interception ratio than Rodgers? Rodgers will also be able to pick up head coach Kevin O'Connell's playbook quickly after playing for Matt LaFleur in his last 4 seasons with Green Bay. Both O'Connell and LaFleur worked as offensive coordinators with LA Rams under Sean McVay. Projected APY, 10 million to 12 million is what the project.
That sounds good to me.
Yep. Best fits, Steelers and Vikings. Mm-hmm. And then the prediction, signs a 1-year, $11 million deal with the Minnesota Vikings. That's the prediction of Greg Podell with CBS.
Above average at that.
A friend of mine who I text and talk with more than most people know said he was watching ESPN today, and he said all the steam on ESPN was Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings.
Really?
That's what the steam was on ESPN.
I feel like I haven't heard a lot of Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings team, though. I feel like that would be a good fit for both sides.
Yeah, well, it's funny. There were some of us that thought that would have been a good fit last year.
Well,
before we went down the disastrous J.J. McCarthy, letting Danny Jones leave the building and letting Sam. Where did Sam Darnold end up going, anyways? Do you know? Oh, yeah, that's right.
The bluest skies he's ever seen.
Yeah.
By the way, if the Vikings sign someone of Aaron Rodgers' stature or bigger, can we stop with this fake? Let's give us another year for J.J. McCarthy to learn. This has been 3 years in the league now. This is them. That would be them giving up on him.
Yeah.
Right? If they go out and get a Marcus Mariota and hey, here's a true competition, that means they still have some belief in J.J. McCarthy. If they've moved on to someone who's clearly going to be the starter, to me, that means, I guess ultimately you don't just completely shut the door on a guy.
No.
But that to me means they don't have much belief in him.
Well, do you think...
So let's stop with he can learn for another year.
Well, do you think it might be possible? How about this theory? Not so much that they've given up on him, but that the head coach is feeling some heat from ownership. It's like, look, you've been here 4 years. I know you were coach of the year. You had 2 double-digit victory seasons, both where you won. One, you won 13 games. The other one, you won 14. But you're 0-2 in the postseason. And the way that we handled the quarterback situation obviously was an abject failure. So he feels a pressure to win right now because Rodgers certainly isn't a long-term solution, I don't think. I guess a guy could play till he's 50. George Blanda did. You know the name George Blanda, right? Played for the Oakland Radiators, also played for the Houston Texans. He was a place kicker and a quarterback. Now, in his late 40s, he was still playing football. He wasn't playing a lot. I think he was a backup, but he still played pro football. I guess Rodgers could play, if he signed with the Vikings, played really well, took us into the playoffs, he could come back for another year. But it might be a 1-year stopgap. But I do tend to agree with you. If you go in that direction, you've kind of given up on him. But it might just be, I need results right now this year. So it is a stopgap. And then maybe McCarthy. And I don't know how he gets better without playing in real action anyway. So kind of to your point, if he's just watching A-Raj. Now, we know Darnold apparently claims he learned a ton watching Brock Purdy, but I also think Darnold had played a lot of football in the bigs. He played a lot of games with the Jets and with Carolina, and then rode the pine with San Francisco, and then came here. But I don't. Unless he plays, how is he going to get any better if he doesn't play? Just working on his mechanics is great, and that probably should be tightened up, but then that still doesn't, how does he play when he's in a football game itself? And if Rodgers is playing all the time, the only way he gets, let's say they signed Rodgers, the only way McCarthy sees a lot of action is if Rodgers gets hurt, or let's say the team just doesn't perform at all, and all of a sudden they're 3-6, 3-7, and they just go, well,
We want a tank.
Yeah, love you. We want a tank. And we now do have to see if this kid
We
can
got to see what we got.
Yeah, we have to see what we got.
Yeah.
Exactly. So whether that happens or not remains to be seen. But
I was going to get to it in 5 questions, but we can get to it now since you're on the... Because I had a similar prediction for the Vikings quarterback that I was going to bring up in 5 questions because ESPN today basically predicted the starting quarterbacks for all 32 teams.
Okay.
For this upcoming season for the Minnesota Vikings, they had Kirk Cousins.
Oh my gosh. Above average at that.
Here?
Yeah. They predicted him as the starter here next year.
Well, that I think we talked a little bit about it yesterday.
I'd rather have Rodgers.
I think I would too, because again, it's not long term. I guess Rodgers is younger, or Cousins is younger than Rodgers, but
he ain't that young though.
No, he's not that young. He is younger, but he's not that young. And I don't think, again, you don't look at him as another. He's here 5, 6, 8 years. You do want to find that guy that you can hitch your wagon to, and he battens down the hatches on the quarterback position for a number of years and gives you productive quarterback play that every year gives you a chance to go, we're a contender we're probably going to make postseason play barring injuries. And it's just how far can we go once we get to postseason play? Here's to me though, the conundrum. Last year going into the season, I bought into the fact that what we really needed, the only help we really needed, I remember I would have kept Darnold, but it was the interior of the offensive line and the interior of the defensive line. We were coming off a 14-3 regular season. We had the season finale against Detroit. That was awful. And then we got blown out by the Rams in the postseason. But I thought we were a team that was ready to win. That's why I would have wanted to bring Rodgers in. Now, I know getting around the salary cap isn't as difficult as people would lead you to believe, but I still think I don't know if we're in the same position right now at this time as we were last year. That makes sense. I don't feel as good about the team overall right now. I felt better about it at this time last year about last year's club. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
Sure.
And I don't know how you feel about that, but I just don't know if... So in other words, bringing Rodgers in, yeah, that's great, but I don't know if there's enough around him as there was. I thought last year was the time to do that, but nonetheless, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Peek at the Purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com. Other side of the break, it's PST Triple V Triple I. Results and pairings on the Common Man program with Tennessee here on the Fan.
Join Meat Sauce and Miller Lite at Dave's Town Club in Delano this Thursday from 5 to 7. Stop by for drink specials, games, and to register for a chance to win a spot in the Vikings Foundation Golf Tournament. Get the full details now at KFAN.com, keyword golf.
Quickly, a text message that came in after our quarterback talk here on the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line says, would you take Jordan Love as your Vikings QB? He sat for 3 years under Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years under Favre. Yes, I would take Jordan Love as my Vikings quarterback, but he's not available. So it's a moot point. Why would you bring it up? He's not available. I think maybe what he's trying to get to is we need to stay patient. Stay patient with McCarthy, and that's all fine and good if you want to do that. I
also think Jordan Love's probably the exception to the rule on a guy sitting for 3 years and then just becoming a good quality starter. Most guys that sit for 3 years aren't very good.
Well, Rodgers did too. He sat for 3 years. But yeah, it just doesn't happen.
Well, Green Bay's different.
Yeah, they are different.
They also had previous good quarterbacks to sit them behind. We don't have that here.
They have, we did that Bleacher Report top 99 quarterbacks of all time. Green Bay has 3 of the top 12 or 13, maybe 15. They had Favre, Rodgers, and Bart Starr. They haven't had to deal with the quarterback position as much as we have. Anyway, let's get to it, Tennessee. It's PST, Triple V, Triple I results and pairings. Got you.
So this is the results of the Silly 16. So we're going to be down to the Ialto 8 after these are announced.
North Region, presented by Carboni's Pizzeria.
The number 1 seed in the North region, Cleveland Cavaliers guard Dennis Schroeder on the NBA trade deadline said, quote, "It's like modern slavery. It's modern slavery at the end of the day. Everybody can decide where you're going, even if you have a contract. Yeah, of course, we make a lot of money and we can feed our families, but at the end of the day, if they say you're not coming to work tomorrow, you're going over there, they can decide that. They got to change that a little bit." He went up against the number 4 seed, Mr. Beast, who said, "The average person does not want to live the life I live or be in my head. They would be miserable because they're just working all the time." Not even really close here. Dennis Schroeder wins 75 to 25%. Mr. Beast goes down.
Down goes Beast mode.
Now I definitely wouldn't want to be Mr. Beast.
No.
Now that you're a PST eliminated in the silly 16.
Do you remember when we used to do, we haven't elected anybody to the PST Hall of Fame in years. We kind of gave up on that. Did you see the story about where Hollis Kavner, he's the guy that owns ProLinks, he puts on the 3M Open, right?
Yeah.
Where he had to set up, it was in the Fish Rock Factory on the west side, where he had to set, they do the knock on the door to tell the guy he's in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
They couldn't get Fitz Jr. because he's always gone somewhere, so they had to actually lure him somewhere else. And so what Hollis did was some well-to-do guy that he knows that has a yacht in Florida, because he knew that's where Fitz Jr. was meeting with Dick's Sporting Goods executives, right? So he talked to Fitz. He knows Fitzgerald really well. He says, "Hey, I want to show you the yacht I'm buying." So Hollis borrowed a yacht from a buddy of his and said, "Let me use your yacht." So then he goes, "Hey, I want to show you this yacht." So Fitzgerald shows up, and Randy Moss is in the yacht. And Randy Moss is the one that tells him you're in the Hall of Fame. But we could have done the door knock with the
Well, we kind of stopped doing the PST Hall. I think the next one that would have been obvious is Tommy Olson.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just surprise him one day.
See, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
We need to do it.
We used to let people vote on the Hall of Fame. Let's just put them in.
I like it. We can do it the
just
door
surprise
knock.
him out of nowhere.
That'd be so. Matter of fact, we could do it like one of the days when he's here for the morning show. Then somebody could knock on the door and come in, and we could award him.
He's actually coming in for password in a couple weeks, so
hopefully this doesn't get back to him. That'll work out really well. Anyway, I'm sorry.
North Region, presented by Carboni's Pizzeria.
Number 3 seed is Jay Billis. Here's what he said about LeBron James.
LeBron James thought he got hit on that jump shot, and I think he did.
He isn't.
You can see the tangible frustration etched on the faces of both he and Doncic tonight. He's not a complainer.
No. Jay went up against the number 2 seed, Odell Beckham Jr. He talked about the struggles of a $100 million contract.
I always explain this to people, like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year, that you have to spend, use, save, invest, flaunt, whatever, however, just being real. I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to give my mama a house. I'm going to do, everything costs money.
Everything.
So if you're spending
write that down.
$4 million a year, that's really $40 million over 5 years, 8 a year, And now you start breaking down the numbers. It's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting $8 million. Can you make that last forever?
It's unbelievable. I'm actually shocked how close this was, because I thought that statement was much more preposterous than the other one. But Odell Beckham Jr., 54 to 46% he wins, but not as big of a margin as I would have expected.
Congratulations. Good to Odell.
West Region.
The number 1 seed is Noah Eagle. He, during the Penn State-Oregon game, said, quote, "You can feel the pom-poms from the fans creating the wind." He went up against the number 4 seed Mavericks GM Nico Harrison, who said this about the Luka Doncic trade.
I didn't know that Luka was important to the fan base. I didn't quite know it to what level.
See, on this one, I don't know. What we have the results, right? I got to think pom-poms wins. What do we have?
I would have guessed that as well, but did not. Nico Harrison wins 59 to 41%. No Eagles run is done.
See, here's again, the voters have spoken. I guess it depends upon how you define a preposterous statement. To the winning one was, what was it again? It was
he didn't know how important Luka was to his fan base.
Yeah, that was just because he's stupid. It's not really preposterous. That's how he really felt. But to actually say that those pom-poms are creating wind is preposterous. They don't. So to me, that's actually preposterous. The GM guy's just stupid. To me, there's a difference. But
it sounds like he's ignorant.
Yes, but he's
naive.
He's won, so good for him.
West Region.
The number 6 seed is Michael Rapino, CEO of Live Nation Ticketmaster.
I always joke, sports, it's like a badge of honor to spend $70,000 for a Knicks courtside. They beat me up if we charge $800 for Beyonce, right? So it's we have a lot of runway left, right? So when you read about the ticket prices going up, it's still average concert price is $72. Try going to a Laker game for that, and there's 80 of them or whatever the hell. So the concert is underpriced, has been for a long time.
He went up against the number 2 seed, Cam Newton, who said, quote, being in the NFL, everyone knows there's a large sum of money that comes due in a short span of time. And being away from the game for 3 years, those checks don't came in the same. Like, I got 8 kids. It hurts me knowing that I can't provide like I once did. It hurts thinking that I'm Superman, but in reality, I'm just a man. Well, Cam, you're no longer Superman in the PST either. You've been eliminated. Michael Rapino, the 6 seed, advances.
I like that because the Rapino guy just seems to be so matter of fact. Like, you people just don't understand. I mean, I get they're all over me for charging $800 for Beyonce. They're just on me. I can't handle the pressure anymore. What's wrong with you people? I love it. It's so good.
This next region's good because we have a 9 seed, a 4 seed, a 6 seed, and a 15 seed battling it out in this region.
Wow.
East region.
Wide variety spans the globe.
The number 9 seed is Nick Nelson. He tweeted, if things click for the Twins, they'll have a very realistic shot at the number 1 seed in the AL. They and other central contenders can once again bank wins against Chicago White Sox, and no team in the East or West looks like a powerhouse with the Yankees besieged by injury. He went up against the number 4 seed, Shedeur Sanders, talking about his frustrating NFL draft experience.
You know, this feel like just people that just be in jail doing for something they ain't do, bro.
Well, Shedeur, you're on to the Alto 8. You win. 59% to 41%. Nick Nelson is gone.
Love it.
Love it.
Go Shedeur. 4 successful years so far in his National Football League career.
The number 6 seed, John Bonus, said, quote, you're probably never happier at your job than when you're underpaid. He went up against the Cinderella number 15 seed Parker Fox, discussing how he burns calories rapidly, said he can burn, quote, 4,000 calories after a couple hours of golf.
A couple hours.
Another Cinderella run has ended. John Bonus advances 64 to 36%.
Yeah. It's just a bad matchup for Parker Fox. That's all there is to it, because is it the most preposterous team in this year's tournament? You could make that argument, but when you go up against Bonus, and I think Bonus has got a real chance to win the whole thing. I do, actually.
South region.
The number 1 seed is Kendrick Perkins. Here's what he said about Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders is the most powerful black man since 2009. You know what happened in 2009?
Yeah.
That's when President Obama got elected in office. He's the most powerful black man since 2009.
He went up against the number 4 seed, Cam Newton, on the Nico Iamaleava saga. Quote, whoever advised this kid to sit out and chase in hopes of more money is a fool. Because the reality is this, is just to make your college experience comfortable. This is not forever money. You have to understand that even though you're talking about millions and millions and millions of money, this ain't it, bro. You at 19 years old, but that money ain't going to last past 24. Cam Newton had 2 in the Silly 16, but he has none in the Ialto 8. Kendrick Perkins destroys him, 87 to 13%.
Whoa.
Big win for Kendrick.
Yeah, good for Kendrick.
South region.
The number 11 seed, he's going to be in here in about 30 minutes, Brian Oak. He said, quote, Oasis getting back together will rival the Beatles getting back together. He went up against the number 2 seed, Steve Mariucci, who said about this about Max Brosmer.
I know an undrafted quarterback free agent today for the Vikings that's playing quarterback. We all know his name, Max Brosmer. Max Brosmer. He was over at New Hampshire, and he transferred in the portal over to the University of Minnesota, Rich. All right, so he went to camp, and you know what? He's going to smash the record, 485 yards today, and you know what? He's going to be known as the new American underdog.
This was a close one, 52 to 48%, but Steve Mariucci advances. Brian Oak, unfortunately, is done. He might be a little sad coming in here later today.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because he had texted me earlier in the week, I think maybe it was Monday, and he said, sounds like I'm doing pretty good in the PST. I said, yeah, absolutely. I think he was, I don't know if he coveted a PST championship, but I certainly think he wanted to be in the running for it. Anyway.
All right, so we're down to our IALTO 8. You'll be able to vote on these shortly on the KFAN account at X. That's at KFAN 1003. Here's the battle for the
North Region, presented by Carboni's Pizzeria.
That number 1 seed is Cleveland Cavaliers. Dennis Schroeder on the NBA trade deadline said, quote, "It's like modern slavery. It's modern slavery at the end of the day. Everybody can decide where you're going, even if you have a contract. Yeah, of course, we make a lot of money and we can feed our families, but at the end of the day, if they say you're not coming to work tomorrow, you're going over there, they can decide that. They got to change that a little bit." Dennis is going to go up against the number 2 seed, OBJ.
I always explain this to people, like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60.
Yeah.
You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year, you know, that you have to spend, use, save, invest.
Flaunt,
like whatever, however, just being real. I'm going to buy a car, I'm going to give my mom a house, I'm going to do, everything costs money. So if you spending $4 million a year, that's really $40 million over 5 years, 8 a year, you know? And now you start breaking down the numbers, it's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting $8 million. Can you make that last forever?
Can you make that last? I mean,
can you make that $8 million a year last forever?
I mean, can you? I don't know how you can. Well, it's obvious you can. I guess, in other words, Odell's trying to say he's broke, right? You think he spent all of his money?
Seems like him and Cam Newton are in the same boat.
Yeah, I think they spent all their money. The broke boat is where they are.
Next matchup in our IALTO 8 is the
West Region.
The number 4 seed, Mavericks GM Nico Harrison said this about the Luka Doncic trade.
Didn't know that Luka was important to the fan base. I didn't quite know it to what level.
He'll go up against number 6 seed Michael Rapino, CEO of Live Nation Ticketmaster.
I always joke, sports, it's like a badge of honor to spend $70,000 for a Knicks courtside. They beat me up if we charge $800 for Beyonce, right? So it's we have a lot of runway left, right? So when you read about the ticket prices going up, it's still average concert price is $72. Try going to a Laker game for that, and there's 80 of them or whatever the hell. So the concert is underpriced, has been for a long time.
I like the way he plays those numbers too. He goes, the average ticket price is $70. He doesn't say what the average ticket price for a Knicks game is, because the 77 or whatever thousand he says is for courtside. But he doesn't talk about what is the average price of an NBA ticket, because you got you can go on right now for the next Wolves game. I see it all the time. It comes up on my junk spam email where $10 tickets available to go to a Wolves game.
Yeah.
So he's fudging the numbers and playing with it.
It's what you do when you use the average too, right? Like let's say Dave Chappelle comes to Grand Casino Arena.
Yeah.
And on the same night you have the Flop, Sweat, and Tears tour.
Correct.
Now Dave Chappelle, it might cost you, I don't even know what it would cost. Let's just say it costs you $1.75 to get in.
Right.
And then Flop, Sweat, and Tears tour costs $25. And then you go on your app. The average ticket is just $100 to go see a comedy show.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a way to fudge the numbers a little bit.
And that's what Rapino's done. He's very good at it.
That's a 4-6 matchup. We also have a 4-6 matchup in the
East Region.
The number 4 seed is Shadur Sanders says this about his frustrating NFL draft experience.
You know, this feel like just people that just be in jail for something they ain't do, bro.
Shadur will go up against the number 6 seed, John Bonus, who said, quote, "You're probably never happier at a job than when you're underpaid."
Go JB. I think I like JB.
Final matchup in the
South Region.
It's kind of interesting. In 2 of the regions, we have 1 versus 2. The other 2 regions, we have 4 versus 6. Here's your number 1 seed, Kendrick Perkins.
Shadur Sanders is the most powerful black man since 2009. You know what happened in 2009?
Tell me.
That's when President Obama got elected in office.
Yeah, that's right.
He's the most powerful black man since 2009.
I think it's Odell Beckham Jr.
And then Kendrick's going to go up against Steve Mariucci.
I know an undrafted quarterback free agent today for the Vikings that's playing quarterback. We all know his name, Max Rosemer. Max Rosemer. He was over at New Hampshire, and he transferred in the portal over to the University of Minnesota, Rich. All right, so he went to camp, and you know what? He's going to smash the record, 485 yards today, and you know what? He's going to be known as the new American underdog.
Do people realize that he's being sarcastic? That he doesn't really believe he was trying? He's just not funny. Steve should stick to coaching. Leave comedy to the professionals like Meat Sauce, myself, and Larry Mandela Guy and Dave Chappelle, Howie Mandel, Dave Attell, Dennis Miller, Jerry Stiller, and Phyllis Diller. He's not. He doesn't believe it. He's making fun of Minnesotans. He's making fun of Brosmer. He never meant that he was. I am right now trying to.
Sounds like he's trying to rig the polls.
I am trying to rig the polls. I'm just trying to explain to people. You got to listen. He's trying to be funny.
I think he's going up against Kendrick, and he's not going to have a chance anyway.
We'll find out. Let's take. Do we need a break, or do we have a couple minutes to tap?
We got a couple minutes to tap dance.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. Right now, taking place. Is it through tomorrow? Does the combine go through tomorrow, or is it just 2 days? Was it just Tuesday and Wednesday?
Well, I know PA is only there through today, but I think it still goes probably through the end of the week, I would think.
Okay. I would declare, I'm about to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
I think the combine is the most underrated or overrated, unnecessary exercise in futility that's ever been
above average
foisted upon the sporting public. The only reason it is there is to get people to keep the National Football League in the news. There's nothing you garner from any of these so-called drills that would change your mind or influence you on drafting a particular player. It's the old CHP. Isn't that what we learned? Can he play? I'll give you an example. I found this on CBS Sports. Fastest 40-yard dash times in NFL history. Okay? So, guy's really good. Fast 40-yard dash. Maybe we ought to draft that guy. Tenneby, I'm going to list you these names of these players. Henry Ruggs III. Well, he's in jail right now. He was involved in that car accident. During his rookie season, he had 26 catches for 452, 2 tutties. Following year, 24 catches, 469, 2 touchdowns through 7 games before he was released. Underwhelming numbers at the best. Are you familiar with someone named Stanford Routt? Routt. He was a cornerback coming out of Houston. He played 7 seasons in the NFL, mostly with the Raiders, with the franchise. He started 53 of his 110 games. Played in total 244 tackles and 10 interceptions. His final season in the NFL was split between Kansas City and Houston, in which he started 7 of his 9 games. So in other words, he played a little bit. But Marquise Goodwin, do you know who he is?
I know the name.
Goodwin proved to be a solid piece to various offenses throughout his career, making stops with 6 different franchises over the course of a decade. In the league, his most productive season was in 2017, 56 catches and 962 receiving yards with San Francisco. But again, he bounced around from team to team, town to town, up and down the dial. Jerome Mathis, wide receiver. Do you know who he is? No, I didn't think.
I know the name, yeah.
How about Tariq Woolen? Now, he's been pretty good playing for Seattle. He ran a 4.26 in 2022. Next on that list, tied for 6, Dry Archer. A running back. Apparently was really fast. Ran himself right out of the league. He was out of Kent State, selected by Pittsburgh in the 3rd round. As a rookie, the running back didn't factor much in the ground game. 10 carries, 40 yards. Primarily, he worked in kick return game over his 2 seasons with Pittsburgh. He was waived in early November and had cups of coffee with the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. But he's really fast. They said, at the combine, you saw how fast he ran. Means he's going to be an NFL star. DJ Turner, cornerback. Who's he? Do you know? Do you know the name there?
I've heard the name.
He is coming off a career year with the Bengals in 2025. Started 16 of the club's 17 games. 40 tackles, 18 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. Not too bad. Rondell Menendez, wide receiver. Do we know who he is? No, I didn't think so. Chris Johnson, running back. He was okay for the Titans,
he had a good run.
He had a good run. So there you go. Fast running back. That one worked out. But my guess is you probably knew he was a good running back without his 100-yard dash time or 40-yard dash time. Kalen Barnes, a cornerback. Despite the speed, the Baylor corner was drafted in the 7th round by the Carolina Panthers, waived by the Panthers. He was with the Vikings for a little bit, but he's now in the Canadian Football League. John Ross, wide receiver.
Bengals.
Is he good?
No.
Okay. And then finally on the top of the list, Xavier Worthy is the fastest.
He's been okay for the Chiefs. He's still in the league. So again, just one particular statistic, because they have the 3-cone drill and all the other, they have the, bench press and all that. It's all meaningless. Can he play? Right? I don't know. Like, where did Harrison Smith end up in all these combine drills? Where did John Randall? Oh wait, John Randall was an undrafted free agent. In other words, if you can either play or you can't. The numbers really don't factor into if a guy can play football or not. It's okay if you're faster, but you can generally catch that by watching film. Doesn't make any sense to me. Well, also, even just how often are you running 40 yards straight?
Yes, well, that's the other thing.
In underwear.
That's exactly right. It just doesn't,
it doesn't translate at all.
Especially banana underpants.
Yes.
There's that too. We'll take a break, come back. 5-3-4-10, what you got?
Wolves back.